Hello there folks and welcome back to another little guide on Genshin Impact for beginners and where to find certain resources. This video will be about Glaze Lilies and well where to find them and the route I usually take to find them. What other resources I pick up in the meantime, and that well includes kind of all of them. And well, Glaze Lilies are a resource that you find in game. The way they look is like this, and they are a Liyue specific, right? They are a plant that is found only in Liyue, or for beginners, the let's call it the southern part um, of the map. Now, where you find these glaze lilies the most is in two main areas. You find them in here in Liyue Harbor, and well, you also find more of those here in Quince Village, especially here in this area. Now let's actually go here in
Let's hunt.
this harbor, and well, in here I usually start from this place. You find the first one in here, isolated here. Now I may not collect every one of those, but the point is this is a path that I take just, for reference, because I find it quite easy. I also collect literally everything else that I find on the path because, well, I don't mind it. Now, why you may need these Glaze Lilies? These Glaze Lilies are required for one of the stronger characters in the game, a 4-star character called Ningguang. She requires these. She requires at first 3, 10, 20, then 30, 45 and 60. Now the point is this number always stays the same per level, it's just that the ingredient differs per characters, and some characters may have a common element. But Glaze Lilies are required for Ningguang, one of the hard-hitting casters of the game, and well, many people like her. So the point is, in order to ascend her, you need Glaze Lilies. And in order to, well, acquire them, you need to know where to find them. Fortunately, well, I don't know if this other resource is... I don't think I've used these silk flowers for any character, but they are in my farming path, so why not also acquire them? So we finally find two more glaze lilies in here. Here in the pool we have golden bass. Usually I don't swim too much after them because if your stamina goes out, you're gonna drown. So I am okay with that lotus head. Then one needs to simply move around here, since glade lilies are also a bit elusive. It's easy to miss some of these around here. You find another one isolated in here. You find two more silk flowers in here. Nope, not this way. Since I already have around 90 pins on the map, I haven't, pinned the location of each and every one, but they are located around here. Around, this specific area.
What if Master finds out?
Alright, so now that we have taken this, we need to take these silk flowers as well. There is also this interactive map, it shows you exactly where they are, but I usually, don't use it necessarily, because, the point is, I only have one character, and I never rush when it comes to gaining resources, mainly because I kind of know what resources I need, so I kind of pick them already in advance. We also have this Glaze Lily in here. And we have, wait, we have moved in circles, okay. Alright, now if I remember correctly, there are a bit more over here, but let's actually, for the sake of, farming them fast, let's actually go here as well. Because if I remember correctly, there are 3 of them here. Here you find 1, 2, and 3. And then there should be... Well, let's actually go to Quince Village, because here's the place where you will be finding the most. You should be gathering a total of 30 of these at least. Initially I would farm those in Liyue Harbor because I didn't know there are so many of these in here as well. This is a place where you have to look very attentively for them because these bright colors can easily conceal them. You can easily skip these if you're not attentive enough because there's too many bright colors in here. So you have a 4th one in here. If I remember correctly, there's also, or there should be a 5th one around here somewhere. Now I don't mind farming some of the champions, creatures, mobs, whatever you want to call them, that I find in here, mainly because the drops that they have, you also need them, or you will need them sooner or later. Wait, we also have forgotten one of these. Remember, there are 5 in this area, but I don't find the 5th one. Still, it's an area packed with them. You also find other things like Jueyun Chili, which doesn't, well, basically shouldn't mind the player at all. I think you need Jueyun Chili in case you want to use Xiangling. Yes, Jueyun Chilies. I said it correctly. Now, you also find 3 here. This is an area which I like coming to because it's quite filled with these resources. I think there is one Joculus in here as well. I mean, there can be more, but I collected some of those. Now, where most of these are, they are exactly in this region. Some of them are here, a few, but the most are exactly here. But let's actually try to take... Or you know what? I'll focus on that after I finish the video, because this is basically a video on how where to find the those little flowers that you may need so much for Ningguang in order to ascend her, therefore to increase her power. You will find other flowers as well. Point is, you need to be quite attentive, else you may actually miss them. So you have one in here. Okay, that butterfly simply vanished in thin air. Now all you have to do is just run along and pay great attention. These are very scattered, these Glaze Lilies. But it's not necessarily hard to spot them, right? So we have another one in here. And we have 2 resources around here. Another sweet flower. Alright, so apparently nothing around here. Okay, we found another one in here. Let's actually go this way. We've gone that way already. Dashing then instantly jumping, I said, is much better for covering a long range area. Okay, so we have another one. We also have several resources here together, so don't forget them. Being a universal collector isn't always a bad thing. Yes, it takes a while, but it's always good when you need some items and you already have plentiful of them. Alright. We have another little one in here. I don't know if all of them spawn, because I just have an impression that I found less than I should, and I looked at the area as we should. And we have another Glaze Lily in here. By these stairs. We have another one here. Alright. Okay. We have another little one in here. So the point is, one should simply sweep these areas, because that's kind of how you get to see them. Point is, if you are interested in several characters, you should look at them, you know, prematurely and see what they want. Because this way you can make sure that you gather the resources needed for them, right? When a new character spawns, you have a a short while before some people will leak the materials. Now that's not necessarily what you will need, you know, they might actually change it, but point is, getting some materials isn't a bad thing. You don't have to farm all of them in a certain day. You can actually, arrange them in several days. Like one day you farm one thing. I usually farm everything in one day when I'm free from work, so I can handle all the, all the time that I need to walk around. I can cover it in one whole day, and then the other days are okay. So have a mint in here. I think this should be it, because for some reason I get an impression there's really none remaining. We did find some of them. And up there is really not much. Now this is just a quick pass that I'm taking. I may be missing some of them. The point is, I don't need them urgently because I only need them for one single character. Oh, and apparently we actually missed a little one in here. Okay, so usually I have this path which I follow, I grab what I can, and then that's it. It doesn't really matter. Flowers spawn once in 2 days. Okay. So yes, all this being said, well, this is the path that I usually take to farm Glaze Lilies. You also find Jueyun Chilies, and you also find the other ones, the silk flowers or whatever they are called. All this being said, feel free to also use this map. It will tell you exactly where they are. It may be somewhat tricky to find them exactly because you may not figure out whether they are on elevated terrain or not. But these are the two main places where you will find them, and this map is also very good at showing you exactly where you find them. I don't struggle with looking for all of them because, as I said, I farmed them once in 2 or 3 days, and sooner or later, once I have around 200 of a certain resource or 300, I kind of no longer look for them. Is because if I remain with that same amount, it means I don't need them, so there's no point in gathering too much of it anyways. So feel free to look for any resource that you really need and see for what other characters it's needed, because in case you might actually like that character and you also get them to drop and join your collection, you might actually need the resources beforehand. So all this being said, hopefully you like this quick tutorial, this quick farming route. This is just my idea. You can pick them in any order that you like, but this was just an idea I had how to help beginner players. You are appreciated, take care of yourselves, and without further ado, you are loved and appreciated. Ferengian Board signing out.